not be anyone's sole source for forming opinions on important issues.
Wrong. I don't even form my opinions by anything. I just form them by thinking about what triggers libs.
Do your own research, seek out experts.
Oh, I do my own research, brother. That's why I know masks are fake. That's why I wanted to kiss my best friend. After I started wearing a mask, it made me gay. Only because of the mask, though, of course. I never thought about homosexual thoughts before I wore a mask.
Push yourself outside your bubble and have empathy. Thanks for watching.
Hello, my name's Rachel. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've been a conservative my whole life, but my views have definitely evolved, and I'm happy to be here.
No, they haven't. If you're a conservative your whole life, your views literally cannot move, okay? Such is the nature of conservatism. You have conserved your views. Therefore, you have not evolved on those views. It is literally antithetical to conservatism. You can't be a conservative and then say, my conservatism has evolved. It can devolve, but it can't evolve. It is the opposite of what your views do when you're a fucking conservative.
Hi, I'm Casey. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I actually work in politics and have watched very closely kind of the Republican Party turn from Republicanism to kind of Trump Republicanism, and I'm excited to talk about that.
Hi, my name's Noah. I'm a teenage conservative from the great state of Georgia. I've been a conservative for my whole life, and I'm really looking forward to this discussion.
My name is Malik. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I just turned 23. I was always economical, even when I was very...
Yikes, dude. Blackout Candace Owens. Oh my God. Of course he's wearing fucking suit and tie Andy over here. Dude, why? Like, whoa, oh my God. What a fucking dweeb, dude.
Little. Now I'm a medical student in the state of Georgia.
Hi, my name is Amy. When it comes to social issues and everything,
Bro, they literally hit every fucking flavor of conservative in this video. Congratulations to, honestly, Jubilee hit every video. They hit like the fucking QAnon, like the QAnon sicko black Trump supporter with the blue hair that probably was like a liberal, like crazy progressive until like last year or some shit. They hit like the only wears a suit and tie Andy black Republican who loves Candace Owens. They hit the I'm actually a conservative operator and I don't like Donald Trump, but you know, I think the Conservative Party must be preserved, so I'm still gonna vote for him. Like, they literally hit every fucking... They've hit... This is great. This is actually a really good collection of people.
Considered a little bit more liberal, but I do support our president 100%. 4 more years was good. So, yeah.
Hi, my name's Alicia. I'm 20 years old. My mom immigrated to America from Nicaragua as a political refugee, and then my father's side of the family immigrated from Mexico. And I am also 8 months pregnant, and I'm super excited to be a first-time mom.
You suck. You suck so bad. You're the worst kind of person. At least, like, the idiotic racist white person is, like, thinking that he's gonna get something out of this. You get nothing out of this, okay? Like, the idiotic white supremacist white person still, of course, gets impacted by white supremacy, okay? By voting for a Republican, you automatically are getting fucked over. But, like, when you say, my mom and dad are fucking immigrants, but I love Donald Trump, you're just in it for attention, okay? There you go. Here's your fucking attention you ordered, Alicia. Good job. Look at that fucking ugly ass shit that they got in the background too. Fucking hell, you sound racist? Yeah, okay.
Trump's behavior can be offensive. Rachel.
Somewhat disagree.
Casey.
Agree.
Noah.
Agree.
Ami.
Agree.
Alicia.
Strongly agree.
Malik.
Agree.
I think that Trump gets a lot of flack more than other presidents for offending people because he is not politically correct. The politically correct culture has been shoved down our throats. And the reason why people like his rhetoric is because he doesn't put up with that toxic culture.
The reason I said agree is because while he hasn't directly offended me, I do think some of his rhetoric can be offensive. I mean, I'm sure Stormy Daniels was pretty offended to be called horseface, even though it was epic. When it comes to a lot of his policies, I tend to agree with him. What he's done with the taxes, I think we can all agree on. If we could just take his
Really?
Twitter...
Can we all agree on it, Noah? I didn't know Noah was actually not a human being, but instead literally Pfizer. I did not recognize that Noah was Apple. You are currently talking to Apple Inc. It's not fucking Noah, the American citizen who very definitely does not make fucking $400,000 or $250,000 a year. It's actually fucking Tim Apple, dude. It's Tim Apple. It's Amazon. That's my boss, Mr. Amazon. Noah Amazon.
account away sometimes and just limit what he says or get a good writer in there for his tweets, I think we'd be in a way better place in the country.
I actually enjoy President Trump's tweets. I have notifications set up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I don't even factor
This
in
guy looks like skinny Ethan Klein, dude, kind of.
the rhetoric when it comes to President Trump anymore because of all the results that he's gotten. And if that's how he has to behave in order to achieve the results, I'm totally fine for it. I see a fighter, and that's what I like about him.
The one time he offended me, I quickly found out that it was from fake news. So that was in the beginning of the election when he was running in 2016. It was the disabled thing, like the little that little thing that offended me, but that quickly dissipated.
Wait, is she like? Wait, is she a conservative that cares about ableism? What? What the fuck? Also, what is that? Was fake? What was he doing? How was that fake and not like literally making fun of a disabled reporter? What, in which context? Okay, I need to know. I need to know what context. These videos don't do this justice. I need to know what the defense is for this. I need to know. Oh my God, picking a fight is back. Picking a fight is back, dude. He was covering himself for a sneeze.
When I found out that's what he does. Everything else that I have heard him, but that it was the disabled thing. I found out that's what he does. Everything else.
Oh, it's like qualified immunity, dude. Oh no, he just like he makes fun of disabled people all the time. So it's actually normal. Okay, what you don't understand is like he makes fun of disabled people all the time by acting it out. So then it's like actually an okay thing to do. Got it. That's great. I mean, hey, that's fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. Oh, Trump supporters are the biggest of brains, dude.
That I have heard him say from this point, I haven't felt personally offended. But when I hear him say certain things, I'm like, I could hear the screeching. I could hear, you could just hear like the freaking people freaking out.
Yeah, and one thing that I say kind of offended me that I kind of didn't like was when the Hollywood Access tape grabbed him by the, I didn't really like that.
Wait, these guys are like upset at all the fucking weirdest shit. Like what? Why do you? I'm confused. You got a Candace Owens book right in front of you, and you're gonna act like you care about misogyny. The other lady acts like she cares about ableism. Like, what is happening? I feel like if anything, you should care about racism, and not even because you're black, but like, well, that definitely factors into it too. But like, I feel like in the things that like offend people category, like in the hierarchy of things that offend people, I feel like racism is higher than misogyny and ableism. Am I wrong? I feel like ableism is way more normalized and misogyny is way more normalized in society than fucking racism. Am I crazy? Like, I feel like people just still say the R word pretty fairly regularly and shit, and same with like shitting on women overall. As a black woman, when other black women are for Trump, I literally cringe. Like, ableism and misogyny are like, well, actually, what Trump did as far as ableism and misogyny are literally the saying the N-word for racism. You know what I mean? Like, making fun of a disabled person's disability physically is like literally the saying the N-word to a black person of ableism, you know? And like saying we should be able to grab women by the pussy is, I guess, no, the N-word of misogyny would probably be like calling a woman the C word or something, maybe, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking like, as far as like levels of levels of offense. Not even comparable, in my opinion. No. Ableism. I'm not saying ableism and racism are at the same level or anything, but I'm saying within its own structure, it's one of the worst things you can do. Is like make fun of a person's disability like that, and like physically make fun of a person's disability is kind of like the worst thing you can do as far as like racism is like call a black person the N-word, right? Where everyone is like, oh, that person is racist, or everyone's like, yikes, that's actually literally the worst thing you can do as far as ableism goes. You know what I mean? I wasn't making like a moral equivalence between the two. I'm just saying within their own like level of offense, in their own context, it's like the worst. I don't think there's an N-word for girls. It's just different, more like not like the other girls because BS is more pervasive. Like the F slur for homophobia. Yeah, like exactly. I'm not even saying they're at the same level or have the same kind of like historical context, but I'm saying that like within, like when someone literally says like, fuck you, F word to a gay person, you know that like, oh, that's a homophobe. Like in most circumstances, you're like, that's a homophobe. If someone is like, the N-word is not the worst racist thing that happened to me. I get what you're trying to say, but it's more about context. I mean, I guess it is more about context, but it's like, it's up there. It's exactly. Turd blasting. It's a tier 1 offense. Okay. It's like the one area where you're like, you can't really get away with that. Like very, there has to be like a very specific, very narrow contextual instance. Anyway, let's keep going.
But then
also, there's a 60-second ad time, so it's top of the hour every hour, 60-second ad break, of course. So I'm gonna run that right now. Top of the hour every hour, 60-second ad break.
As I thought about it more, I thought he wasn't running for president. He was a Democrat at the time, and this has nothing to do with who he is today.
He was talking about groupies.
Yeah, and to me, like when I actually looked at the context and everything, like. Yeah, no, I know who he's talking about. He's not talking about, oh, Ami, I could just grab. No, you can't do that to Ami. Like, I'd be able to do that.
I'm gonna hit you with a backhand over there.
Exactly. Like he's talking about the women that are like not.
Did he just fucking code switch? Wait, did Casey just drop? Did Casey just drop a code switch right there? That was tight.
Ami, I could just grab. No, you can't do that to Ami. Like, I'd be able to do that.
I'm gonna hit you with a backhand over there.
Oh, Noah did. Oh, Noah did. Oh, no. Oh, hey, at least listen to the black people in my audience. At least you know that black conservatives has to deal with this shit every fucking day. You understand? So they're living in punishment regardless. Code switch is when a white person, when speaking to a black person, will start speaking in African American vernacular English. Like, yo, what's going on? I'm gonna hit you with a backhand. Like what he just did right there. Like when I say, Chile, or sorry, ciao. It's so funny. It's such a funny thing that people do. It's like very clearly, it's not just white people. Yeah, people do it. A lot of people do it. Also, code switching can be in different ways as well. Like if you're like from Texas, you speak differently around your family. You might have a thicker accent around your family versus when you're in a different setting, when you're outside of Texas or some shit. It can be that as well. Multilingual people do it all the time too, as well as minorities with AV. Yeah, no, I code switch from time to time as well. I know. Tejas, aka North Mexico. Noah right there is not fucking code switching because Malik is gonna be cringing at his old self so fucking bad in 5 years. I don't care about his political views. That suit is too cringe. Yeah, it's really bad.
Exactly. Like he's talking about the women that are like not just any woman. He was talking
Right.
about particular women.
And think of when he said that stuff too in Access Hollywood. By that time, Donald Trump was being talked about in rap videos. He was on Comedy Central doing those roasts. He was in Hollywood. We know who he
Dude, every black conservative I know loves this. This is like the number one thing. And like this is the number one thing that like black Trump supporters love throwing out there. Like, bro, nobody called Trump racist before. Nobody called Trump racist before. All three of them? No, there's a lot of black Trump supporters. Yeah, every rap video mentioned him. It's so funny. Oh, okay, dude.
was talking about. So when all these people, especially in the black community, when you dare use the grab him by the
if he had been black and said it in a rap song,
we be
everyone,
like,
oh, yeah, sing that song.
Trump, get it.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, he's a Republican? Oh no, we disagree.
Yeah.
I was only ever offended by Trump once, and this was whenever he said something about like Mexicans being like animals or like something like that. And so I was like, oh my gosh, it's so offensive. Like, why would he say that? And then my stepdad was like, did you read like everything that he said? So I went back and he was talking about like the MS-13 gangs that were in.
No, he wasn't. So did he mean MS-13 gang members? Some are very fine people then? Like, was he? That's not real. Where does this come from? Okay, if you read the entire quote, he literally, first of all, MS-13 is not Mexican. It's Salvadoran, okay? They're from El Salvador. Well, they're not even from El Salvador. They're from Los Angeles by way of El Salvador. They're originally from Los Angeles, okay? So that's one. Two, he was saying Mexicans. And if he was actually talking about MS-13, then why the fuck did he say, and some are very fine people? So which one is it, motherfucker? Bro, Trump is so woke. He was actually saying, like, MS-13, some are very fine people, actually. Yo, come on, dude. Come on, dude. She's not mad about the caravan? Bro, her parents are immigrants from Nicaragua and fucking Mexico. She is so lost in the sauce. There is no way this person gets saved after that, okay?
Mexico and stuff. So I like kind of learned a lot about fake news and how a lot of people are like sensitive to his like rhetoric and what he says.
What do you think? I feel like society today, especially millennials, we're addicted to feeling sensitive and offended. Like literally people's nipples get hard when they're freaking offended by something.
I think I know why that is. It's because if I'm offended, if I'm a victim, I get more attention. It's like there's a hierarchy of victimhood.
Kind of ironic. Again, kind of ironic that a Republican is saying this because conservatism is all about like creating victimhood where no such victimhood exists. But especially black conservatives love talking about how like no other black person wants to be their friend anymore because they switched to the other team or whatever. And like constantly talk about that. That's the number one thing. I'm sure Malik will talk about it eventually. There will be a question like, oh, did Trump make you lose friends? I'm sure we'll hear about it in like literally the next question if that's the upcoming question.
Well, I'm black, but you're black, and a woman. So that means you get more power. It's like in the left, it's like the more victimized you are, the more you should be heard, the more power you should be given. And to me, I think that's pretty sad.
Systemic racism is a problem in America. Rachel.
Strongly disagree.
Casey?
Somewhat disagree.
Noah?
I said somewhat agree.
Amy?
Somewhat agree.
Alicia?
I said strongly disagree.
Malik?
Somewhat agree.
Systemic implies that it's built into the DNA of a country, and I just don't think that that was why this country was founded. It wasn't founded to be a racist country.
Systemic is really that there's laws in place that prevent people of color from excelling. And while in the past there definitely have been laws.
Listen, if I had fucking eyebrows like that, I would probably be a racist too, okay? She really fucked up at some point in her life. She took off too much, all right? So after that, it's like, it's all downhill, okay? Like 6th grade, she was like, I'm fucking tweezing these shits. Oops, doesn't come back, not growing anymore. It's done. It's a wrap after that. It's all, literally all downhill going forward. Of course she's gonna fucking deny it now. Did someone just say misogyny? Oh my God. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on, dude. Come on, dude.
That were systemically racist, there aren't any anymore.
There's so many examples, people of color that excel in America. For example, like Barack Obama, he's like a black president. You also have like AOC, who was a bartender. She's a person of color. And
bro, this is so embarrassing. It's literally like, it's so sad. Like these people operate like fucking 14-year-olds. Like some of you probably thought this stuff, I don't know, 4 years ago, but you were 14. You know what I mean? Like I give leeway to that. Like I think that's fine. Like it's not fine, but like, you know, you're a product of your environment. But like this is something a child would come up with. Like, oh, yeah, there can't be racism because like we have a black president. Yeah, exactly, dude.
she literally just like came up and became like, you know, a House of Representative.
Can I ask everybody this real quick? Joe Biden's 94 crime bill that specifically targeted people of color, you wouldn't consider that to be systematic, something that was put into place that
is right. This is right.
Going to target the breakdown of the black family. Sorry to be like military, but there's some skid marks. America has some like total skid marks.
Yeah, there has been like, cause like I'm studying history and I'm taking an Old South class. So we're just talking about slavery. Like, so I'm not denying that there hasn't been systemic slavery before.
But Kanye said we shouldn't talk about that because it's a mindset. Like the reason Wait, we gotta run that back. Hold on.
So we're just talking about slavery. Like, so I'm not denying that there hasn't been systemic slavery before.
Systemic slavery? Bro, come on. Oh! Bro, systematic slavery exists.
But in 2020 today, like there's not systemic racism.
But just in the 90s, 94, that was the year I was born. Not too long ago. And the residue, the effects that it had within 2 generations is, you know, it looks pretty structured to me. You know what I mean?
I mean, I really like what you had to say with the 1994 crime bill, because that's exactly where I was going with it. That's why I somewhat agree. And the other policy that I think is also really important would be school choice. In the schools where I was growing up, the way they teach history and the way they teach the spirit, you know, that they were teaching.
Spirit, bro, I felt like in the classroom.
You are determined that you will fail. You cannot succeed. You will never make it. And to me personally, whenever somebody told me I can't do something, I said, okay, watch. and then I went to medical school. But for a lot of other people, they don't have what I have, you know? So I think it is systematic because it's mostly Black people in these areas being taught these things that keep them from even thinking that it's.
Dude, mega brain, dude. What a mega brain take. Dude, this is how you know white supremacy is built into our motherfucking DNA as a country, okay? When Black people in medical fucking school are churning out unironic white supremacist talking points like, oh, dude, yeah, like, systemic racism is actually real because, you know, our schools teach systemic racism to Black people, and therefore they're taught to be victims. Also, you guys are crazy. You like you see a dog and everything changes, huh? Hi, Fifi. My little baby. Who's my pretty baby? She hates this, by the way. She hates being on my lap. I'm trying to secure her as best as possible here.
It's possible for them to achieve.
She's so warm.
So that's why I say systematic racism is a problem, and it comes from the Democratic side.
I have to disagree. There's no law saying that you have to teach Black children that they can't make it in the world. The issue is really funding, and I think people get distracted.
Listen, I'm sorry, but if you hear about slavery and redlining and its consequences that still impact the Black community to this day, and then you think that like Black people that hear that are gonna feel like losers and therefore not succeed, that's on you. Okay? Like, it doesn't work that way, dude. What an insane fucking take. Yeah, Black people are gonna hear about slavery and then feel like they can't succeed. What a stupid fucking take.
And tend to blame it on systemic racism when it's not. It's really a poverty issue.
You don't think that's systematic?
White kids are in poor districts as well, and there are tons of districts around the nation that are a majority white and they're poor.
Okay, let's fix that. No, that's communism. Well, shut the fuck up then. You get no more talking points, you dumb motherfucker. How about that?
But Black people are typically, if we look at statistics, Black people are in that lower income, people of color are in that lower income bubble right there. I feel like that's systematic, you know what I mean? It's targeting a specific group.
But there are tons of white kids in that bubble too.
I didn't disagree on that part. I definitely gave a shout out to, you know, there are white kids in the trailer
Hey,
park.
what are you talking about? When we're talking about racism, when we're talking about systemic racism, it's most commonly a Black issue, okay? But when we're talking about poverty, it's another systemic problem, certainly, that needs to be eliminated. I understand that. But like when you bring white people into a conversation about systemic racism, you're kind of a fucking dipshit, okay?
I think a lot of it has to do with like the culture or the way that the Black, like normal, typical Black family is set up. The statistics say that.
I cannot wait for. Come on, Malik. Look at what she's saying. It's your culture, Malik. I need him to at least do. I need him to retaliate here a little bit. I think Amy might.
Black people don't have like two family households,
Yeah,
and that has a lot to
75%.
do. Yeah, that has like a lot to do with like, oh, the poverty rates, their like where they end up in school, they go to jail more often. So I don't think it's systemic racism, and like more as that it's a fact of having to like educate.
We've done a lot to deal with race in this country. A lot of my friends on the left, they literally just see that it is a racist country. We're never not going to be, and we need like insane change to just blow up the system. I think that would be the most foolish thing. When you look at who's helping the Black community, I think that President Trump has done a ton for the Black community. More than under Barack Obama, that's for sure.
I believe COVID-19 is a serious and real disease. Rachel.
Disagree.
Casey.
I strongly agree.
Noah.
I somewhat agree.
Amy,
Agree.
Alicia,
I said somewhat agree.
Malik.
Somewhat agree.
Anything that can cause the death of somebody is serious.
Bro, this chick Rachel is like crazy. Also, Malik is studying to be a doctor, dude. I don't want him to be my doctor. What the fuck? He says somewhat agree? What do you mean somewhat agree?
I can strongly agree with that statement while at the same time being against a lot of the measures that have been taking place, especially
Bro,
over
imagine having a doctor and you go to him and he's like, bro, come on, COVID's not that big of a deal. Don't worry about it. Like, what a fucking take, dude. I'd be like, what? No. Where do I report you? I'm gonna fucking pull up XQ Karen here.
an extended period of time. It's affected my mental health. And I have a lot of people who are scared to kind of speak out. But of course, the disease itself, yes, it's real. Yes, it's serious.
It's very serious. I've known people who have family members who have passed away. But if I don't believe it's to the degree that the media made it out to be. I mean, they said really early on 2 million people will die and we're at 200,000. Overall, it's most likely been inflated a lot.
And this is a really interesting question for me because I'm in medical school. I have access to information that like the general public doesn't. So the thing I would say is context is not being given to the general public. I noticed one week there was like, oh my God, there's been a surge in this state. Well, I know a drive-through just opened. Was there really a surge in cases or was there a surge in testing?
I think
Oh my God, you're a doctor. No, you're a doctor. Okay, hold on. We're taking a break here for a second. Dog on the table, chat. Okay, sit. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Oh, dog on the table. Oh. We have a doggo on the table, chat. Folks. Hi. Hi. Fiona. I don't think she likes it. I don't think she likes it too much. Okay, get down. Get down. Get down. Come on, get down. Get down. It's okay. I'll protect you. Get down. Good girl. Oh, it's okay. Good girl. Hey, get down. She's like wagging her tail, but she's also like a little... She's a little scared. Okay, do you want me to take you down? Huh? I'm gonna put you down? I'm gonna put you down? Hey. Okay. Oh, are you still scared? Okay, I'll put you. Oh, okay. Okay. I got you. What happened? Did they drop you as a baby? They drop you as a baby? Oh, look at this. Hi. What the fuck? Oh, there it is. Baby Shark. What breed? I don't know at all, actually. I have no idea. My doctor told me it's not a big deal when I asked for a big test. She was wagging her tail to the left of the table, on the table. That means she was stressed. Yeah, I could tell that she was stressed. She didn't like the table. That's why I brought her down. No, this is my brother's dog.
I think that we are being distracted by the real problem in America. And the real problem in America is that we're not healthy overall. We're one of the sickest countries who's a first world country. So I think the media has really blown it out of proportion. I don't think it's a
Amy bringing up the crime bill to say there's systemic racism but claims it specifically targeted black and brown people is a bold-faced lie. The bill didn't target them, the states did, and how they weaponize it. If you actually did your research, you wouldn't have said that. That's really interesting that you say that. Maybe if you did your research, you would listen to the Joe Biden speech on the Senate floor where he advocated for it. Because when he was talking about the predators on our streets that are just inherently violent and we need to do something about that problem, regardless of whatever socioeconomic condition is leading them to a life of crime, you would recognize that he was very clearly talking about black and brown people. So shut the fuck up, okay? Oh yeah, Joe Biden had no idea that it was going to impact black people. Oh no. Oh no, dude. It's just like the states. It's actually the states. Just like when Joe Biden was anti-busing, for example, and he called it forced busing. A fact, a concept that Lee Atwater very openly described in 1983 as, if you were for busing, that means you couldn't say the N-word, and that was your way of trying to say the N-word. Something that Joe Biden advocated for in the Democratic Party. I wonder what he was saying there. Oh, he was just meant states' rights, right? That's what he meant. Yeah, states' rights to do what? States' rights to do what exactly? Yeah, voting rights. That's states' rights. Oh, no. That's also states' rights, right? Voting rights. The gutting of the voting rights is actually a states' rights issue because, come on, why is there any sort of federal check on which states can do what with their voting restrictions? Come on. Yeah, Civil War. Well, that's actually fought over states' rights. States' rights to do what? Oh, the states' rights to own slaves? Oh, got it. Okay.
as serious as it's made out to be. It's being politicized to scare people.
And I don't know if you guys remember in the very beginning when they talked about this COVID, they said that the
Isn't it logical to say that increasing testing numbers would often translate to a spike in cases? For example, if a community has 200 cases per day, but only have the capacity to administer 150 tests per day, and then they upgraded their capacity to administer 200 tests a day, it would look like a spike, even though the actual state of the virus didn't change. Genuinely asking, just curious of your response. Yeah, but in both circumstances, you recognize that there are 200 cases per day, right? You get that, right? Also, regardless, there is such a thing as case positivity rate. You know that, right? And when we look at positive cases across all cases, the percentage of positive cases across all people that were tested was still significantly higher than like a place like Canada. Then we also have the most important metric, which is percentage of deaths per capita. Okay? When we look at our deaths per capita, we have a higher death per capita than most other countries. So on every single fucking metric where you would positivity rate fixes that issue. Oh, I'm late. You guys were already saying that in the chat.
African American community was actually, more prone to getting COVID, or the Chinese virus. Gotta say it, guys. Gotta say it. Chinese virus. And it makes sense. If we want to look at the Black community specifically, when it comes to high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, we got to take that in consideration. And unfortunately, we can't really compare ourselves to Sweden. We can't really compare ourselves to these other countries that, one, have a much smaller population and also live healthier lifestyles than we do as Americans.
I am open to liberal ideas.
So, like, doesn't that in some weird way, I guess, like imply that the president just refused to admit that we have an unhealthier population then? And therefore is still pretty irresponsible in the way that he governed? Like, if they have a healthier lifestyle than us and they can take liberties that we can't, doesn't that mean that we should fucking not take those liberties then because we're just, our base level of health is not as high as all these other motherfuckers you're talking about? Makes no goddamn sense.
Rachel?
Agree.
And you, Casey?
What? The most psychotic one said agree to liberal ideas.
Agree.
Noah?
I strongly agree.
Ami?
Strongly agree.
Alicia?
I said agree.
And Malik?
Agree.
What?
So I said agree, but like right now, they're just like portraying so many radical views that it's like shutting me down from like listening to them all entirely. Like socialism, that's like the number one for me because
They're all laughing. It's like, what? Dude, the Democrats did this. I'm sorry. The Democrats did this. I'm serious. When one side is psychotic and calls everything socialism, and then the other side says, no, 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 we're not socialism, but this leftist side is actually socialism, and that is bad. Then all you've done is normalize this notion that like socialism is existing in the Democratic Party.
know that socialism leads to communism and people cannot tell me otherwise. And like my family actually like left Nicaragua because of like the socialist like stuff and the communism that was happening. So
wait, what? Is she was her mom like a part of a death squad or something? What the fuck? Wait, it was the communism that made her leave Nicaragua, or does she not understand what she's speaking of? Like, yeah, we had to leave because my mom was a part of a death squad and like raped people. So we had to leave Nicaragua because the communists made us leave. Like, by the way, that's not even a fucking joke. Ana Navarro literally openly admits that, for the record, which is insane to me. Like, Ana Navarro very openly on the timeline has talked about how her dad knows Contras and shit.
and I know a lot of Hispanic people, like that's probably why Joe Biden isn't getting like that much support. He is getting support, but not that much support.
I'm super conservative, but I'm also an urbanist, and I don't mind. I live in a city. I'm totally open to it and even apply some. I mean, I'm almost vegan, so I had to say that because I'm almost vegan. But, you know, it's okay for conservatives to care about the environment and things like that. It's something that you would consider liberal. I especially liked listening to Andrew Yang. It's hard to hate that guy, and you just can't. But nothing about Joe Biden interests me. My biggest voting issue of all is China, and I think that it is the Chinese Communist Party is the biggest threat to the global order, but especially the American way. And Joe Biden has made it very clear that he's really not going to do too much to handle them, and in the past has actually enabled them.
I'm very, very open to having discussions with literally everybody. I'm in Blexit, and down here in our Tennessee chapter, when we are come across Black Lives Matter, we cross over the street and we talk to them. Friendly, peacefully, great conversation. We find a ton of middle ground. We add each other on freaking Facebook. But I feel like leftists today should just be open and honest and just call themselves Marxists, because there's literally pretty much no difference now these days when you look at Bernie Sanders, when you look at Black Lives Matter, and then let's add in a bunch of like illegal immigrants when we can't even take care of our own people. There's no logic.
Remember when I told you guys that like there was a deliberate effort in the Republican Party to pin black people against undocumented immigrants? And some of you guys, earlier today, I talked about it.
When you look at Bernie Sanders, when you look at Black Lives Matter, and then let's add in a bunch of like illegal immigrants when we can't even take care of our own people. There's no logic. There's no logic to it. I'm open to talking and adopting things like who you decide to marry and all that kind of stuff. I'm open to that. Give people equal opportunity to succeed. But if you want to look at the LGBTQ stuff, I'm for you as an adult talking to another adult and consenting to do whatever you do. But I'm not for is shoving it down children's throats. I'm a mom of 3. I don't play that. No. What do you need to talk about to my kids about your dingling stuff and what you decide to identify? We don't care. If they want to play with their toys.
Yeah, I actually, I work for the gay Republican group. So I am their political director in Pennsylvania and Ohio. And as far as gay issues go, I think that people looking to pass gay marriage or like repeal gay marriage, I think that's big government. I think the government shouldn't decide what is defined as marriage at all. Donald Trump has stood for the gays and gay marriage for a lot longer than Joe Biden has. Joe Biden entered the 2012 presidential campaign still opposing gay marriage. And so
wait, what? What? What the fuck? No, Joe Biden and Barack Obama all had the Republican take, which was, oh, civil unions are fine, let's just not call it marriage. In 2008, he said that. But this notion that like Joe Biden opposed gay marriage in 2012 is fucking false. Not only is it false, but like, dude, they literally legalized it, dude. Like, it's the Republicans that oppose gay marriage since then and still do. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, Biden, okay, for as much as I shit on Biden, and I do think it's like fucked up, for as much as I shit on Joe Biden, he was one of the first people in the Democratic Party that, like, I mean, it's a talking point, but he was one of the first people in the Democratic Party that was open about gay marriage. And then also apologize to it? Wait, really? I didn't know that.
Breaking news, historic news here.
Also, Mike Pence is the vice president. Like, dude, that guy sucks so bad. This guy sucks so bad. Like, if you're a gay Republican, I hope you only are forced to fuck other gay Republicans for the rest of your life, okay? You don't get any fucking liberal pussy. I'm serious. It's bullshit, dude. You can't fucking be a gay Republican with like Mike Pence as the VP. And not only that, but like also this administration has destroyed LGBT protections by acting like they only give a fuck about like destroying it for trans people. So many fucking bigoted gay people, like bigoted cis gay people, have, without realizing, gotten fucked over. Mike Pence co-sponsored an amendment 2015. He said ABC's that was absolutely not a mistake to sign RFRA, throwing Indiana into a 250 million economic panic, putting Indiana's Hoosier hospitality reputation in jeopardy. Religious Freedom Restoration Act in a closed-door ceremony surrounded by special interest lobbyists. He voted against Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal, which allowed LGBT Americans to openly serve. Michael Penis. Anyway, let's keep going.
So if we're going to talk about that issue, then I feel like public opinion has come around on that.
I said I strongly agree because the high school I graduated from, I was able to graduate with a kid who...
Republicans are taking away gay rights yet increasing pedophile laws. Sigh. Wait, is this guy deluded? What? The fuck is increasing pedophile laws? What the fuck? Dude, this is real sus, dude. Please explain what you mean. It is legal to have. Oh, he has an anti-pedophilia take. Okay.
I believe he worked on Bernie Sanders' campaign at some point, and I've been able to talk to them frequently since we've graduated. We've had a lot of discussions. We have to understand there's not liberal problems and conservative problems. There's American problems that we all have. We just have we all have the same end goal. We just have two different ways to get there. We all want America to be better. At least I hope we do. I try to say, what if I'm wrong and what if they're right? So I can truly see what they think.
America is better now than it was 4 years ago. Rachel?
Strongly agree.
Casey?
I strongly agree.
Noah?
I strongly agree.
Ami?
Somewhat agree.
Alicia?
I said strongly agree.
Malik?
Strongly agree.
Yeah, so I somewhat agree, and that kind of actually sucks to say.
Are they like? So what happened? Like, I mean, I guess they don't believe in COVID. So in a way, what Donald Trump said worked, right? Like his messaging worked for his base. And what I mean by that is, like, he knew that he wasn't going to deal with the fucking pandemic. So he was just like, oh, we'll just avoid it and we'll keep telling, like, our followers that, like, the pandemic is not real, and then they'll believe it. And they did believe it. So that's probably why they're like, yeah, it's in a better place because the pandemic is fake.
Because I wish it was strongly agree, but when in terms of race relations, I feel like we've taken so many steps backwards. I never thought that as a millennial and somebody in 2020 that I would go outside my door and there would be like tension, friends disowning each other, family disowning each other. I know I've experienced that. I think we have come a long way, but when it comes to racial matters and stuff, unfortunately, I think we've taken some steps back.
I believe all.
How the fuck can you still vote for Trump? What a fucking weirdo, dude. Noah and Amy are the only two people that are like, that could be saved. Everyone else is in the fucking Kool-Aid or completely brain dead or bad faith actors, I think. Like, I don't... Like, Elysia is done. Like, there's no salvaging whatever the fuck's going on in there. It's like an empty can of It's like an empty can with just like a penny in it, and it's just rattling in there. That's the inside of her mind.
Problems are downstream.
And Rachel is hateful as fuck. Malik might be a bad faith actor.
Of economics. And I think when Trump says we're going to do opportunity zones, we're going to invest billions and billions of dollars into low income areas. Like in Detroit, the gentrification that happened, which I'm a big supporter of, it gave specific family members in my family jobs that paid like 4 times what they were making before. And that's because a billionaire now owns like 1/3 of downtown Detroit. Like people complain about it, but before, I bet 1/3 of these buildings were abandoned. That's done more for the Black community than any president I've known in my lifetime.
I feel the tension that Ami feels, but I do feel like President Trump's the leader to lead us out of that, because I see the Democrat Party, they see the pain, they use it, people who are hurting, make them hurt a little bit more, and become victims to whatever hurt they have, whether it's racial or otherwise. And I don't appreciate that, and I don't think that that's the answer. I think President Trump's optimism is the answer to healing that. I really do.
I do think that the economy is the biggest thing and probably the only thing that President Trump can do for us when it comes to race relations. I don't personally think that Trump is the answer to race relations, because it's a bigger discussion. It's beyond Trump. The best thing that President Trump can do for Black America and people of color is to just give them the opportunity to thrive. And I think he's done that, a great job at that, especially, before the China virus took place and everything. But when it comes to race relations, the media has such a massive part to play. And I think a first step that we could do as society is hold our mainstream media accountable. If we didn't have to dig to see that Trump has denounced white supremacy multiple times. And
denouncing white supremacy is the base position, okay? Normalizing it or defending it once even is suspicious. Doing it numerous times as the president is a death sentence. As far as like messaging goes, okay? It's like murder. White supremacy is kind of like murder. You can't be like, oh, well, officer, I murdered one time, but look at all the 29 years where I didn't do murder. It's like, no, that's the automatic position, is that you don't murder. So when you murder one time, like we got to look at the situation and see if it's like manslaughter, or if it was an accident, or if you premeditatively murdered someone. You can't do that. Like, that's it. You say very fine people on both sides, and the other side is literal fucking Nazis, and actually one of them murder someone, like, you fucked up. It's a really stupid analogy. Why is that a really stupid analogy? I think it's a really great analogy. How is that stupid? Denouncing white supremacy is the automatic position. Not doing a murder is the automatic position. Because if we use your analogy, Biden is still racist and still hates the gay community. No. Just because someone murdered also doesn't mean that they don't have a pathway to redemption. Also, Biden is still racist. So, that my opinion on that hasn't changed. I voted for a racist. Well, I voted for a racist twice. I voted for Hillary Clinton as well.
And the mainstream was doing their jobs and not adding fuel to the fire. I think maybe as a society we could all come together and hold the media accountable for the attention that they have caused when it comes to race relations. I don't think it has anything to do with Trump.
America's always had, political polarization. We've always had racial issues, but at least we have these problems and we have a robust economy. You know, in January and February and March, once Donald Trump gives his second inaugural address, we'll see the economy bounce right back.
He's not the president in order to gain power. When COVID happened, he did not use the opportunity to usurp more
First degree